Hey folks, want to get your ex back? Get yourself back first. I'm Jim Miller, helping you find and keep the love of your life. And this is what I want to talk about tonight, is getting yourself back. And what do I mean by that? Well, getting yourself back, when you're in a relationship, you become your identity. You're part of a couple. You are one half of a couple, per se. And a lot of times your friends and your family, and that's part of who you are. This other person is so important in your life that they become part of your identity. Now all of a sudden you find yourself alone, and you've got to figure out who you are. What do you have? So it boils down to self-love. And I remember talking to a therapist a while back, a friend of mine. He's a retired therapist, actually. We were talking about self-love and whatnot like that, and it's something that I'm working on. I'm not there, trust me. I'm not 100% of this. But it's something that I'm working on. And I asked him, what does self-love look like? And couldn't really describe it, but it's basically taking care of yourself and being okay with your own company. I remember, this sounds weird, taking myself out on dates when my ex and I, or my girlfriend and I were split up when she was my ex at the time. I would take myself out on dates. I'd treat myself nicely. A lot of people, they go through a breakup and they fall into some self-destructive behavior, smoking or drinking, excessive drinking, or even doing drugs or carousing around. There's that thought that the best way to get over someone is to get under somebody, and I don't agree with that philosophy at all. I believe you should keep yourself pure. You should keep your own integrity. I believe that you should keep yourself to your own standards. A lot of us go through these things. I'm not a drinker. I did pick up the cigarettes again, put them back down. But, some of this self-destructive behavior and loving yourself is taking care of yourself. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't sleeping very well. I wasn't carousing around and doing drugs and whatnot like that, but I just wasn't taking care of myself because I was just desperate to find out, to become part of that couple again. And I had to really look at that, and I had to realize that, I do love myself. What does self-love look like? Well, it's hard to put something on there. It's not always what I do. Sometimes it's what I don't do. I don't hang around with toxic people. I had some people in my life that were kind of toxic. Not bad people, it's just that their personality and my personality, their energy didn't mix with my energy. And I kind of had to, not ugly, didn't push them away, but just kind of, had to kind of back away a little bit. Spend a little more time with people who are more positive, more uplifting. Spend a little time with people who loved me. But self-love basically is loving yourself and taking care of yourself, because realistically, in the end, you're all you got. I'm all I've got. Family will disappoint me. Friends will disappoint me. I'm the only person that's really there for myself 100% of the time. I don't always take care of myself very well, but I'm trying. And that's what I mean. Find yourself for a number of reasons. Number one, if you find yourself and you're happy and content in your own life, living your own life, doing the things that you want to do, you give off a certain air about you. I talked about this the other day in the video. You give off vibrations. You give off an energy that people want to be around that. People don't want to be around someone who's negative and depressed all the time. I've been there. Again, like I said, I've spent time where I just didn't want to get out of bed or didn't want to get off the couch, and people would call me up and say, hey, you want to go do something? On now, and I sit there and watch YouTube videos, and I'd sit there and just YouTube after YouTube after YouTube and just watching stuff that I didn't even care about, just to burn some time, to take my mind off of myself and my own issues. So find yourself, okay? How do you do that? I can tell you what I did. I did a lot of journaling. I had to sit down and I had to process the feelings. But what happened was, over time I started feeling better. I wasn't desperate. I wasn't needy. I didn't need this person back in my life. I wanted this person back in my life, but I didn't need her there. When I got to that point, that's when things started to lighten up on me a little bit. That's when my eyes started to open, and that's when I would start to give off this energy, When my ex did come back, when my girlfriend did call me back, we did start communicating again. I was not the same person. My core values are all the same. I didn't change anything there. But My emotions were not the same. I worked on myself. I found that, you know what, I'm a pretty good guy. And I was able to take care of myself, and I started eating better, and I put out the cigarettes, you know, and I started hanging out with more positive people, and I started getting enough sleep, and I started exercising. I started doing all these things that made me feel better about who I am, you know. Lost a few pounds. It was great. I was looking in the mirror. I'm like, you know, this is really nice. I weigh less now than I have in the last 18 years. I'm not a heavy guy, but, you know, I had put on a pretty big gut there for a while. And I don't really have it all. I still have some of it, but not all of it anymore. That's why you're getting from here up. But you know what? I'm happy about who I am. I can look in the mirror and I don't feel so bad. You know, I'm not afraid to take my shirt off at the beach, for that matter. I like who I am today. So when my girlfriend and I started communicating back and forth, all she did was add to the love that I already felt. She just added to that. She added to that good feeling. She added to that fulfillment of my life. If it ended tomorrow, would I be sad? Yeah. But I also know that I'm okay by myself. And that's the message that I have for you. I know you hurt. If you're in a breakup, I know you hurt. I know you desperately want your ex to come back. But you know what? You're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And your ex may come back, and you may write a whole new love story. Or you may attract someone completely different and so much better than you ever thought possible. If the universe can take someone you never thought you could lose, the universe can give you someone you never thought you could get. And that person could be you. Think about that, folks. Jim Miller, helping you find and keep the love of your life. A couple of links down below, you know, for some free ebooks that I give away. Click on those, check those out if you want. 7 simple ways to get your ex back. And another one called Desire Principle, which is really more for the women, about when men pull away. Also, my number one recommended X-Back program right now. There's a couple of links down there for that. If there's something you want me to talk about, put a note in the leave a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to answer all comments. And if you like what I have to say, if you don't like what I have to say, I will answer all comments. But till next time, have a great day. Bye.